So let's introduce you to Microsoft ecosystem. So when we talk about Microsoft ecosystem, we are referring to the comprehensive products and services that that Microsoft offers. This encompasses the operating system, software applications, cloud services, and hardware devices. And all these are integrated to provide seamless and interconnected computing experience for us. So the very first thing we talk about in this ecosystem is operating system. The operating system, the Microsoft Windows OS, including Windows 10 and Windows 11 now, Windows Server is the foundation of this ecosystem, because this is where everything operates from, right? Powering devices from PCs to servers with user-friendly interface and robust security features. Then enter the software applications like Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, and they dominate in the productivity sphere. Most of us would have done assignment in Microsoft Word, probably when we were in school, do that project in Microsoft Word, right? While developer tools like Visual Studio supports application development across platforms. The cloud services offer a comprehensive range of cloud computing services, and for businesses, for developers, and it supports diverse use from web hosting to artificial intelligence. Isn't that fascinating? So and hardware devices. We have surface devices like tablets, laptop, Xbox console for playing your game, and this complements the ecosystem, showcasing how all this is integrated from the hardware to the software for productivity, creativity, and of course entertainment. So when we talk about Windows, what is Windows? Why are we even talking about it? Windows is the most widely used operating system globally, and is developed and maintained by Microsoft. It has features. If you are looking at your laptop, you use a Windows, you have the start menu, you have the taskbar, you have the Cortana, the virtual assistant, and Microsoft Store that can help you get your apps and other features and functions of your PC. Microsoft Store, and all this helps enhance usability and accessibility. What is the history? It has evolved since its launch in mid-1980s, with each version bringing new features. Now we're using Windows 11. I don't know if Windows 12 is out. Maybe I will check that. Why not you check it too? It has user interface improvement and security enhancement. It has dominated the market across businesses, governments, and individuals. It holds unparalleled dominance in desktop and laptop computing. Windows boasts of intuitive interface. So when we say interface, this thing you are looking at now in your computer, if you're using one on your PC, the fact that it's easy for you to use it, it's easy for you to move from your start menu to your taskbar to your address bar, and so you don't need to have a whole tutorial on how to use your PC. They made that possible. They made it easy. They made it intuitive and accessible for all of us. Elements like your start menu, taskbar, desktop icon, it has evolved to even support touch screen and stylus inputs, right? Application compatibility. Windows is known for its extensive software compatibility. Most software, you can actually get it in Windows. Some of us like me, that like Windows more than Apple, is simply because of this. There's a lot of apps and applications that I don't need to worry, will I be able to install it in my laptop when you are using Windows? And this is a benefit that most of us enjoy. So it supports a wide range of applications from productivity suites to game and specialized business software. Security features. Windows is known to continuously improve security measures, including built-in antivirus protection, regular updates, and user account control. Some of them, or not all, but some of them have biometric authentication with Windows Hello. It's also easily integrated with other Microsoft services like OneDrive, Edge, Cortana, and Xbox. Its tailored edition like Windows Server and Windows 10 Enterprise offers features for corporate environments, such as group policy. Ongoing innovations focus on cloud integration, AI, mixed reality, and new devices like dual screen devices. And this we've seen in the new releases like Windows 11 with refresh UI and improved features. Most of us probably use Windows 11 and we're not using everything that is in it. So let's talk about the productivity. We keep talking about how Microsoft is leading productivity software, which is the Microsoft Office suite. So when we talk about this, referring to your Microsoft Word, is known to be very versatile in processing Word. It's used for creating and editing documents with features like formatting, spell check, templates, and collaboration tools. Also, Microsoft Excel, which is powerful spreadsheet software for organizing, analyzing, and visualizing data. You can easily do formulas with it. When you work in even for your personal life, if you're not used to using Excel, check it out. Don't be like me. When I was much younger, I felt like this was hard. It's actually very easy to use, and once you get used to using it, you will make your life easier, even for your personal budgeting and those things that you'll be punching calculators anyhow. Okay, so it can also help through charts, pivot tables. It's commonly used for financial analysis and reporting. Microsoft PowerPoint, our sweetheart, it's a presentation software enabling users to create professional slideshows with text, images, animation, transition. It's ideal for meetings, lectures, and conferences. And even though Google is also competing with this and other apps, but Microsoft have been the OG in this field. We have the Microsoft Outlook, which serves as an email client and personal information manager, integrating emails, calendar, tasks, and contact with features for scheduling and reminders. Also, it enables collaboration easily. So, now we've talked briefly on that. What of Microsoft Cloud Services? What is it? What are they? So, when we talk about Microsoft Cloud Services, we're talking about the Azure. It's Microsoft Cloud Computing Platform, offering... Sorry, I keep making mistake. It's Microsoft Azure, not Azure. I call it Azure as a village girl I am, so don't mind me. Let's continue. So Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing platform that offers infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. That's what this means. So whenever you see this, you will see it's quite common. Know that's what it means. That's infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, so it offers those solutions through global network of data centers. It also provides a wide range of services, including virtual machines, database, AI, Internet of Things, analytics, and DevOps tools. Its significance lies in its ability to be easily scalable. So when we talk about scalability, is the fact that let me give you this example. If you built an office, when your team, let's say you open a company tomorrow and you have 10 staff, and you built an office that will contain you guys, be okay for that, and you guys continue to grow, and now you have 100 staff, you will need to move to a bigger establishment, a bigger infrastructure, meaning that the office you built is not scalable. So when we talk about things being scalable, is the ability to increase or decrease the size and the ability and its function. But imagine if that house, now this is me imagining, if there is a way to build a house that you can expand when your team is big and reduce when your team is small, then we can say that house is scalable. That's probably a primary school explanation of that. So its significant line is ability to be scalable. It has global reach. It's reliable, and it has good security measures and multi-cloud support. Developers tools, cost management features, and this makes it comprehensive and adaptable. We are in adaptability again, right? It also caters to various industries and use cases like app developments, data analysis, AI, IoT, e-commerce, and gaming, and a lot of even startups. Most people have needs for this. Sorry, my laptop sometimes does what it does. So when we talk about cloud computing, what do we mean? why are we talking about Azure? I still call it Azure. Okay, why are we talking about it? It refers to delivery of computing services, including server, storage, database, networking, software, and more over the internet. This is being referred to as the cloud, instead of relying on a local hardware or on-premise servers. So think of it like before now, most of us could not watch our movies or save our pictures. We need to do this with a flash disk or your floppy disk, so it's on site. But some of us that we save our things with Google Photos, or you can save things in Google Drive. That is cloud. There is nothing physical. You didn't need to buy a new external hard drive because you have these pictures you don't want to lose, or you have this document you don't want to lose. Now you just probably need to pay smaller subscription amount, or some of them actually free, to save this on the cloud. So whenever you hear cloud computing, that's exactly essentially what we're talking about. So cloud computing enables us users to utilize computing resources on demand, paying only for the resources that we consume. So what are the characteristics of cloud computing? First is on-demand self-service. Users can provide and manage computing resources. It provides and manages computing resources such as server instances and storage without human intervention or service provider. So there is nobody between you and the services. Cloud services are accessible over the internet through various devices with network connectivity such as computers, smartphones, and tablets. Cloud providers pool and allocate computing resources across multiple users, allowing for efficient use. So you don't have to pay for what you don't need. So if you only need 100 gig of space, for example, you pay for that. But let's say Kingsley has a bigger need for 1 terabyte, he pays for that. Unlike if you are doing with things that are local hardwares, maybe the only thing you could buy is 1 terabyte. And now you've paid so much money for 1 terabyte worth of external hard drive, and you're only using 1/10 of that. Does that make sense? Okay, so cloud service is known for its rapid elasticity. It can scale resources up or down rapidly based on demand, and users can access additional resources when needed and release them when no longer required. Resources are metered and monitored, enabling users to pay for the resources they consume, such as storage, processing power, bandwidth, or active user accounts. What has Microsoft contributed to the development community?